after 5 o'clock. Well, we certainly want to welcome everyone to our Engage Global presentation. Tonight, we're looking forward to hearing from our moderator and host, Jonathan Jones. We're looking forward to hearing from Dr. Prasad. We have a wonderful program that's in line. You couldn't be in a better place at a better time. My name is Bernard Dean, and I'm just give you a little bit of history on me. I have actually been in this business now almost 4 months. It's really 3.5 months. And I have thoroughly enjoyed using this product. It has absolutely changed my life. I came to know Jonathan actually about 45 years ago. And Jonathan and I used to work together in New York. And Jonathan has been calling me about 5 years to try this product. And probably like you, a lot of people present a whole lot of products to me. And I did not believe that there was any difference between the products offered by people, the shelf, the store shelf, or anything else out there. And one day, my wife just encouraged me, she said, why don't we just go ahead and try it? And that's what we did. We ordered the products, we tried it, and it absolutely turned my life around. In fact, after about 3 or 4 days, I noticed with myself, I'm a retired firefighter, and I'm a paramedic, even currently a paramedic. I teach people CPR and basic life support. But in taking this product, the thing that I noticed the most is that I had increased energy. And all of a sudden I started, instead of walking just around the block, I go 3 miles every other day. And the other days I'm actually at LA Fitness and I'm lifting better than I've ever lifted before. And I'm not a lifter, by the way. It's just that I have all this energy and I'm trying to dispel it. Well, I called Jonathan up, asked him what was these products about, how in the world was I getting the results. Jonathan called me up, gave me a basic understanding of the product, and the story goes on. I've decided that I have found a home, and absolutely I am so fascinated with the people I've introduced this product to, and I just can't wait to see the health of others improve as mine have. Now, Jonathan has been a valuable resource for health with me for years. And it seems as though he has such a knowledge of things that we need to do to become healthier. And as a result, I like to give him accolades from my standpoint because he had enough concern, enough love for me to share this wonderful company, the wonderful products with me. So tonight, you're going to get a chance to hear from our host and moderator, Jonathan Jones, as well as Dr. Prasad. And let's give him our attention because, in my opinion, this is the man that's going to take us from bad health to good health. Jonathan, take us to where you need to take us.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much, Bernard. We always appreciate your enthusiasm and excitement. Now, somehow
that's going to take us from bad health to good health.
Somehow you didn't give the call for everybody to go and pick up the phone and call anybody who got a dog or a cat and bring them to the line. But I know it's in your spirit, so we know it's in your spirit. But thank you very much, Bernard. And I go back, as you said, more than 40 years, and it's been an amazing relationship, and it's so exciting to me to see him be one of thousands now that I'm seeing benefit from this product that you're going to be hearing about today. And I'm so excited to be able to share it. I no longer have any fear or reservations whatsoever, just like Bernard, for being able to tell somebody about something. If I see someone that they've got a health issue, whatever the case may be, I'm excited to share with them a potential solution for them. But now, to be clear, this presentation, the company Engage Global is an amazing company. It's connected to us by and Dr. Prasad. But please keep in mind something here, folks. The FDA has not evaluated any of the comments that we're going to be discussing. Engage Global, myself, Dr. Prasad, we're not making any claims. We're not trying to convince you or anybody else that Micro Daily, Collagen Daily, any other products that are produced by Engage Global or any of the formulations that Dr. Prasad has put together are to be considered as a treatment or cure for any disease state. Only the government has the authority to declare something to be a treatment or cure for disease. They'll make you feel better, and they certainly help the body by providing the nutrients that are missing from our diet. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust. I'm not a doctor at all. I'm a researcher, been doing research for years. Testimonials are purely anecdotal. So what happens to one person, or in this case, what happens to one animal, may or may not happen to yours. So we're not trying to say that at all, because you don't know the clinical circumstances around it. But Nicholas has one testimonial, one story that we'd like to share. It's about 1 minute and 20 seconds long. So Nick, would you mind cueing the video for us, please?
So I'm Molly McDaniel, and I got a horse named Avi. And Avi had been deemed unrideable by several vets due to sacral damage. And I put her on microdaily, 8 capsules in the morning and 8 capsules at night. And I had just started riding her, and then I put her on this, and she has transformed into a horse that was rearing up, straight up in the air, to moving forward, getting back on her hind end, freeing up in the front end. And I've also noticed she's drinking twice as much. Her poop is now accumulating 3 times as fast. And she's galloping through the field when before she wasn't feeling like she could run freely. So I've noticed a lot of difference. Big impact has been the community. A lot of trainers know this horse. Everybody's trying to ride her, and I have to say there's a few people jealous that she's riding now. So I'm super excited about her future, and can't wait till I can show her.
Jonathan, what was the dose? I didn't get the dose. How much she was giving?
She said she was giving her 8, the horse 8 capsules in the morning and 8 capsules in the evening.
Okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting to hear that.
That was phenomenal. That's not interesting. I'm so excited. My daughter-in-law has a horse, and she goes almost every day. And so I'm going to have a dinner at her place. So I will mention this data.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, because we're looking forward to hearing more stories like that. We got a few more that we're going to share with you, Dr. Prasad. So I'd like to just formally let everybody know exactly who you are, Dr. Prasad. I think people need to know, because there's some folks here, some that have been here before, but there are some who have never been introduced to you properly before. So
Right.
Dr. Prasad was the professor at the University of Colorado School of Medicine for 30 years, director of vitamin and cancer research. So he's got some serious muscle behind him. Former president of the International Society of Cancer and Nutrition, member of the British Society of Medicine, the world's first radiation biology PhD, the first in the world. How this man had the wherewithal to say, I'm going in that direction, take a 7-year course and narrow it down to just 3.5 years. But that's what he did. And he became the first in the world. His products have been awarded 7 US patents on micronutrients. Dr. Prasad is the scientist who's been credited with the discovery of the fact that vitamin E succinate is cytotoxic to cancer cells. Now, I say that, but I like to try to set this up by letting people know that, first of all, no matter how much research and training I had in other areas, I just personally did not know that there was more than one type of vitamin E, but Dr. Prasad did. And not only did he know that, he was able to identify the one vitamin E succinate that, oh, by the way, happens to kill cancer cells. It's cytotoxic against cancer cells. That's an amazing thing. So that's the kind of vitamin E you want to have in your body, personally. Then he also discovered that butyric acid, the small fatty acid that's formed by the fermentation of fibers in the gut, is an anti-cancer agent. Dr. Prasad knows a little bit of something about the gut as well. He's the author of, or co-author of, 32 books, been published 250 times in peer review articles. So from a scientist's point of view, that's pretty amazing. But I want to hone in on just on his books for just 1 second before we bring Dr. Prasad forward. His latest book is the one here that you see on the left, Dementia and Memory Loss. how to prevent and improve the treatment. It's an educational book and it's written for the public. The consumer can benefit from this. So don't think that by buying this book, it's some sciencey book. It provides easy to follow guidelines on how to avoid the risk of memory loss. And you want to go down this pathway, folks. You want to. The book also provides the recent scientific information on how to reduce the risk of memory loss and how to improve current drug treatment with the help of micronutrients. So I did a search for it. I have the book myself. I think it's phenomenal. I also have the one on fighting cancer. One of my good friends, Dr. Nakuzi, slipped in my office, and I've never seen the book on cancer again. So I'm going to have to go ahead and get a new one. So, but that's available also on Amazon. So I highly recommend that you tap into these books. If you just take a picture of the QR code there, that'll take you straight to it on Amazon, or just take a picture of the whole screen, get a screenshot here, and then you've got easy access to it. So this is the gentleman that is about to give us this presentation right now, because Dr. Prasad is currently the Chief Science Officer for Engage Global. They're based in Provo, Utah. So Dr. Prasad, once again, all we can say is thank you, and welcome to our discussion. We appreciate you being here, sir.
Yes, as you can see, the title, this relates to not only human, but also with the dog and cats. Age and age-related chronic diseases in dog and cats, value of micro-daily EMF, collagen peptides, and probiotics with prebiotics. And you will see how I will explain these phenomena.
And Dr. Prasad, when I think in terms of having a conversation or discussion with a scientist about, the impact of nutrition on animals, I guess it's hard for me to even imagine that someone can drill down as deep and as thorough as you have. But thank you very much for putting this presentation together for us.
Sure.
And so thorough and so detailed with it. So please, whatever you'd like to share with us, tell us.
Yes, I think first you did a superb job in putting the side by side some photo which expresses the sentiment that I'm going to tell you, or you wanted to know it. During the entire human evolution period, dogs have shared a common their lives with their owner together for a long, long time. Most owners now consider dog and cats as a family member, as you can see in left side in the picture. And the process of domestication of both dog and cat led to more emotional relationship with their owners. And so really, those people who have a dog, my son has a dog, and I can see that whenever we go, I'm fascinated with the behavior of the dog, how nice they are. And so it is very important that then the way you treat yourself, I'm sure you like to treat your dog and cats at the same time, in the same way.
Absolutely. And I think that's very true, Dr. Prasad. I still remember a moment in time where my wife and I visited some very good friends of ours. They're more like family to us. And they had a little poodle. The dog's name was Chops. And so we decided, it's time for us to take a family picture. So I say, okay, well, Sue, you sit right there, and Tom, you stand right there, and Chops, you get on Sue's lap. Now I say this as if, everyone's going to respond. And sure enough, everyone, including the dog, did exactly what I said. I could not believe it. We all just laughed hysterically at the fact that the dog went exactly where I said for the dog to go, on Sue's lap. So they really are.
It's amazing how dog and owner have a personal relation, and dog follow exactly what he's told to do. Your kid won't do it, but dog does it.
Dog will do it. Dog will do it. Yeah.
Here is the major causes of aging and age-related chronic diseases in both dogs and cats. Like in human, increased oxidative stress due to production of excessive amount of free radical, as well as chronic inflammation, are responsible for the initiation and progression of almost most human chronic diseases, and that makes quality of life extremely poor.
That's the same as with a human then.
Exactly. Also then preventive and treatment the strategy that are useful for human should also be beneficial for dogs and cats. It just makes sense, because if you know why they suffer these damages, humans suffer same way as the dog one. And therefore, what we can improve our health, I'm sure that the dog will get the benefit, because they suffer from the same type of diseases, even acute diseases like infection, viral infection, things like that. Next.
Interesting.
Here's the lack of adequate preventive or treatment guidelines for dog and cats.
So there are no real,
There is no guidelines. We have some guidelines for human, but dog for that, as far as I know, they don't have any guideline how to prevent those diseases. So I said, like human,
Right.
dogs suffer from age-related diseases such as memory loss, arthritis, hearing loss, kidney failure, and cancer. Just like human, just like we suffer. Since these related chronic diseases also occur in human, and since increased oxidative stress and chronic inflammation play an important role in the development or initiation and progression of these diseases in both human and dog, micronutrient strategy developed for human could also be very useful for dogs and cats. That's my common sense.
Yep, the operative word here is prevention. So
yeah,
that makes perfect sense, Dr. Prasad. I get it. I understand. Go ahead.
Behavior and pathological changes in the brain of the dogs. Dementia, that we know memory loss,
They
in
suffer
dog
memory
is
loss
referred
too?
to as canine cognitive dysfunction. That's a technical term. Canine, as you know, canine is dog and cats. The dog with memory loss exhibit destructive behavior, such as inappropriate places to urinate, or defecation, agitation, excessive vocalizations. They make unnecessarily complain. They unnecessarily complain. Like human Alzheimer's disease, dog's brain has also elevated level of, as you know, beta amyloid and senile plaques, which are considered very important for developing or killing the neuron so that you have a memory loss. These are very important pathological features that you find in human. And I was surprised that they have done autopsy and found out exactly the same thing occurs in a dog as well. During aging, during the aging of a dog, increased oxidative occurs as evidence by the fact that decreased level of antioxidant superoxide dismutase occurs. This is the enzyme. This is the enzyme they have measured in a dog, and they go down. And if they go down, that means your oxidative stress will increase. And so at least they have some measurement quantitatively to say that, yeah, they suffer, and in human also, oxidative enzyme like catalase peroxidase, the glutathione peroxidase and SOD superoxide dismutase, they all get down when you have oxidative stress.
Wow.
Next.
So
this is very important slide. Now this is again, IBD is an intestinal bowel, inflammatory bowel disease. In human is quite frequently occurs. And it is also most common, looks like in a middle-aged females, dog and cats. Dogs of middle age frequently suffer from this disease called IBD, or inflammatory bowel disease. Symptom of this disease includes weight loss, recurrent vomiting and diarrhea, and abdominal pain. Or all these things causes poor quality life of the dog. And I'm sure that you like to prevent those things. And so when you see this kind of syndrome in human, that they deplete with probiotics.
Wow. My sister-in-law, she has three little Persians. I should have taken a picture of them to include here, but one of them was getting really, really sick, and
Yeah.
she said, "What
I
can I
mean,
do?"
they very,
Microdata.
yeah,
And
that's
she said
amazing. That
hundreds of
how,
dollars.
I'm sure
Delivers
the vet must have thought it.
Yeah, no,
He doesn't have any access to this kind of information.
right.
And I'm sure that just like medical school, they don't get any much teaching about nutrition and health.
And my experience, Dr. Prasad, has been that anytime you try to introduce something like this to a veterinarian, you get a wall, a
Yes.
wall, the FDA that says you can't bring it in here unless it's approved and scrutinized by, somebody in a.
No, it is just like we are saying, this is for your nutritional deficiency that might have in your dog that can increase. Micronutrient deficiency, if some horse or dog or cat, they don't have a poor quality food, then over long run, they develop a deficiency. And that can cause all kind of diseases as you know it.
Wow, incredible. So arthritis also?
This is osteoarthritis. As you know, in older age, osteoarthritis is a terrible thing. It is very progressive disease due to loss of collagen and cartilage. And this occurs and because increased oxidative stress and inflammation destroy collagen, as well as they increase the enzyme activity. So you have both way. They directly damage the collagen, as well as when you get older, the enzymes which destroy collagen gets very, very high. And so collagen gets a double whammy for destruction, and that's why you see loss, and then you suffer all these kind of diseases. Therefore, we suggest that supplement with a mixture of antioxidants such as astaxanthin, lutein, can reduce DNA damage, improve immune function, and decrease the crippling osteoarthritis disease, as well as cancer incidence, because in cancer also, in all disease, there is a prevention aspect and then how you go treatment aspect.
Right.
And there is a lot of experimental data that would suggest, but there is no human study as yet. And as you know, Jonathan, I have submitted for a patent on this cancer treatment with high dose of antioxidant, which kills cancer cell, but not normal cells. Even vitamin E succinate, when I discovered, it kills cancer cell, but not normal cell. And vitamin E succinate or high-dose antioxidant also kill cancer cell, but not normal cell. And as you know, the mechanism we discussed last time. But so this is from prevention point of view, is the same increased oxidative stress and inflammation also are involved in causing cancer by different way.
Right.
So,
it just sounds too simple, Dr. Prasad. That's all. It sounds too simple.
Yeah. And as you know, the cancer occurs only in cells which are dividing or which have a potential to divide. They don't, like liver cancer cell. Liver is not dividing generally, but if you do injured, then they start dividing. Or you cut part of the liver, they regenerate back to the normal level. And in a brain, same thing is. So brain, you don't have a tumor of a nerve cell because they are not dividing. Then you get a tumor of glioma cell, schwannoma, all cells which are potential to divide. And so that is a cancer aspect different, but the increased oxidative stress can damage not only cancer dividing cell and make them abnormal cell, but also accumulate into non-dividing cell. Then you have all kind of liver disease, Alzheimer, Parkinson's disease, and so on.
Yep. Wow, that's amazing. So that's good. Thank you. So this is an X-ray that cancer actually does manifest itself in animals.
Yeah, exactly. And so high-dose antioxidant, like I said, kill cancer cell, but not normal cell. This is evidence that they also increase the cell-killing effects of chemotherapeutic agent, radiation therapy, and hypertension on cancer cell, but not on normal cell.
That's
But
amazing.
again, these are all experimental data in a cell culture model that I did a whole bunch of study, as well as animal studies. Sometimes, human cell you can't grow in mice because they are different species. So,
Right.
but they have developed what is called a thymic mice, means there is no thymus in that mice, so they cannot reject it. So they grow human cell sometimes they call it nude mice as well, because they don't have a thymus, therefore they can't be rejected. Without thymus, you can't reject it. So they
Ah,
grow there, and then they test various component.
science. Amazing. Amazing. So have you actually seen results? I guess this is one of the stories, a situation where you've actually seen results yourself.
Yeah, so that's a story was different. That when I'm teaching a course to medical student on nutrition and cancer, there was a goal. So I will tell them that what is there, and he said, "Oh, I went every place. Your formula, I can't find any place." So I say, "Well, I can't help." So one day he says, why don't you form a company? I said, "Look, I'm a poor professor. I don't have money to form a company." Finally, my sister funded 20,000 and formed a small company called Scientific Nutrition, and that developed a micronutrient mixture of micronutrient formulation called Sevak. And I didn't want to go through a lawyer to find who did it. I said, I will put some Indian name that nobody had thought of.
Yeah.
So Sevak is a Sanskrit word, means committed to serve you. So I put that name, and a editor of Boulder Camera, which still exists there, she thought that I was advising for her breast cancer, and she felt that she's alive because of my suggestion.
Oh,
So
wow.
she wrote a huge article about that. And so it went to all over the place. So this woman who started, and overnight, almost overnight, we had a couple of thousand customers within a week. And so this woman must have read it, and they ordered Sevak, and so she was, after that, she wrote me this letter that she has two parrots. One was old, one was young. An old parrot had some abdominal extension. Went to the doctor. His doctor said, if I open his stomach, your parrot will die. So out of desperation, she came and I started feeding Sevak, the put on it fingertips. And she says, in the beginning, the parrot was saying, peck, peck, peck. And after a week, it is a gulp, 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 taking a whole bunch up. And then her feather becomes like younger, all cured.
Oh, wow.
and so she wrote, as I said, she wrote a 3-page handwritten letter thanking Sevak and me for developing the product.
So Sevak was the earliest ancestor to Micro Daily. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then another lady from Los Angeles, when I discovered vitamin E succinate as an anti-cancer agent, it was advertised all over the place. So she must have read it. And so a story is same, went to the vet said that, yeah, your cat has a cancer and I can't do anything. It's too advanced. And then she saw the vitamin E succinate as a cancer. So she bought in the marketplace a whole bunch of just vitamin E succinate alone. And I started giving it to the cat, and cat got cured. So she wrote a big letter to us that thanks very much for this one. So that's one. The third, it is interesting story.
Wow.
And Sevak is a mother of Micro Daily EMF. And so, and then a friend of mine, his wife was not getting pregnant. And so she was saying that, do you think Sevak will help? I said, I don't know. We don't have experience. Just like here, somebody asked a question. I say, I don't know. You have to just try. So she tried it. And after a few months, she came and said, yeah, I'm pregnant. And when the baby was born, she named the baby Sevak. Sevak is a Sanskrit word, means committed to serve you.
Oh, wow. That's amazing. I had not heard that one. So thank you for sharing that with us. So it helps with fertility. There you go.
Yeah. And again, my recommendation is that micro daily EMF, 2 capsules in the morning and 2 in the evening with meal. For dog, larger size dog, and a smaller size, 1 capsule in the morning, 1 in the evening. And collagen peptide once a day, maybe I didn't put that amount, probably 5 grams, half of the adult dose. And probiotic again, 1 capsule material once a day. And that should be, your dog would be healthy like you are.
There you go, folks. Write it down. There it is. So it's the same basic formula. It would work for.
I mean, the concept
Vital.
is same, disease is same. Therefore, many people are deriving benefit from micro daily, and therefore there is no reason why the dog and cat cannot derive benefit.
Well,
and you saw also story. I mean, that's amazing. That they was so sick that she can't ride it. I just said, I have to tell my daughter-in-law this evening.
Yeah, well, she can, she'll hear that story, no problem at all. But she said she was giving that horse 8 capsules.
8 capsules, So it would not increase cost too much. I mean, we generally recommend 6. So she's taking 8. That's not very big deal.
Yeah, but that was 8 twice a day. So that's a pretty good
16 capsules.
But you're still talking about a horse, so we're not talking.
Well, if you can afford a horse, that means you are a wealthy person.
I think so. So I don't think
and therefore you can afford this thing too.
Yeah, 8 twice a day is not a big deal for a horse. I do not think so.
No.
So, but I need folks to understand something, to just take a look at just a snapshot of the books that you have authored or co-authored, Dr. Prasad. And when I look at this, I see the word cancer all over the place here. I see the word diabetes all over the place here. I see brain injury. I see radiation. I see Alzheimer's. I see everything that we're all concerned about. And that's the reason why, folks, for those of you who are here listening to Dr. Prasad's presentation, that's the reason why I strongly encourage, add this to your library, give it to someone, purchase it to someone, give it to someone as a gift, and you literally could be changing someone's life. These books right here, in some parts of the world, I think it's over in, I think it was Thailand or Taiwan. One of our clients said that anything that Dr. Prasad writes is considered gold over there. So they go to the library and they check out books about Dr. Prasad because they know that whatever that man has written, it's absolute gold. So it was really nice to hear that.
Nice to
hear. This is the package that Dr. Prasad recommends for us, the rest of us. So if you're taking care of your canine or your feline, be thinking about yourself as well. And this is the best bundle. Dr. Prasad, Jeff has another story that he would like to share.
Sure.
Let's take some time and hear this additional testimony. This is all current stuff, so that you can see that your formula is hard at work right now. And then we'll take some questions from the audience.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is I'm gonna do 2. One of them is with Barbara and her rescue Rottweiler. And this goes back a little while ago, where we were still referring to the microdaily as military micronutrient formulation, or MMF. But yeah, let's we'll listen to Barbara, and then we're going to go over to Hawaii to somebody that's pretty amazing. So this is Barbara.
About a year and a half ago, we adopted a rescue dog. She's a Rottweiler. She had a rough life, and she was probably, we think, between 5 and 6 when we got her. We loved her, and she's just a great dog. But Rottweilers don't live a really long time. She's about 100 pounds. So this, about maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, I noticed when she would come up the back 3 steps to get in from the garage, she would yell. Each time she came up the step, it was just yelp, yelp, yelp. And I knew, and I thought, oh my gosh, you get so attached to them. So Charlie and I talked, and I said, well, what do you think if we start her on MMF? It's a go. We did. So, the first few times I put it down her throat, and she was fine with that. She's a big girl. She could handle it. And then, but every time she would be sniffing and she would be licking, and so I held it in my hand. I said, "Do you want it?" And she took it. And then she crunched into that capsule and just mauled it around in her mouth and swallowed it down. She never got a big drink of water the first night. From then on, she would be excited about it. Well, one night it got to be about 10:30 or 11 o'clock, and I hadn't paid any attention to the fact that she might need it. And I heard her prancing in the hall. We have laminate floor, and she's tap dancing, which is usually, "I've got to go out and you better come quick, lady." And so I got in there and I said, "Do you need to go out?" And she just stood. And I said, "Is it time for your MMF?" And she came up on her back legs like this 2 or 3 times. Oh, I called the whole family, and it was unbelievable. I mean, this was the back legs she couldn't come up the steps on. So anyway, she was so excited to get it. And it really is making a difference. It's just, it is an amazing, amazing thing to have micronutrients that can make this kind of a difference in our lives, even our dog.
So yeah, 100-pound Rottweiler jumping up
That's
on its
amazing.
back legs that it couldn't climb up the steps on, and asking for it, begging for it. So here's the next one. This is Dawn, and she's made quite a practice in Hawaii in her holistic healthcare clinic about helping animals. And so this is the first cat that we've seen. So this is Dawn.
I'm having great results with people, clients who've had so much pain in between sessions. They do follow my advice of cutting out all their other vitamins, because I think that's really, really important. And just use the micro daily and up the dose. Upping the dose is quite amazing if you really need the help or need extra energy. And then also I'm finding great results with opening up the capsule and putting it under the tongue, just for emergency reasons. But I also found opening up the capsule and soaking the food for animals in it. Like, for instance, I was working on a cat who a woman was just besides herself. She was very, very upset. She was emotionally distraught, and I had someone connect me with her because he knew that I have pretty good results. And so I was talking with her. The cat was being a feral cat, was ready to be put to sleep by the veterinarian. And I said, no, we don't go there yet. That's not even an option. So I told her about micro daily, and the cat wasn't eating. She goes, "I don't know what I'll do if the cat won't eat." I said, just open up a capsule, put some on your finger, and try to get it in the sides of its mouth. If it won't do that, put it in its water. If it's drinking water, that's a good sign. So actually, she put it in the cat's water, and the cat was drinking her secretly because she was upset. She was not drinking the water, but then she measured it and she goes, "Oh, I guess the cat is drinking its water." So overnight, it would get up and drink the water. And each day it got stronger and stronger. She was giving the cat baby food with chicken. And I told her, cut the baby food out. It's filled with heavy metals, most of it. Cut it out. You're probably not doing the cat a service. Just a little bit of chicken is good. Grind it up. And the cat started eating bigger and bigger pieces of chicken, didn't want the small pieces, were taking big pieces, sitting up on its perch and purring and sitting and laying in a very relaxed way. Before it was all like hunched over, and she could tell it was getting better. And now the cat is healthy. It's an older cat, a rescue cat, but I went to visit it. And it's so cute. Yeah, she's really, really happy. She can't be happier, and she is taking it for herself. The cat was poisoned, and that's what was I knew that this would help the cat Cat was poisoned by too much veterinarian work, teeth work, x-rays, etc. The cat system couldn't take it. The cat was going to die, and it was having liver failure and etc. And that just pulled the cat out of, cat's real happy, looked at me, smiled. So I had good results with that. And I'm now working with a bigger dog who has had trauma, accidental trauma, power washer, and he got his mouth in the power washer. His lips are all red. So I've putting a solution of microdeli on his lips with coconut oil, is what I've heard you say, Jeff. Okay. So I'm using that. You can tell that the dog's getting happy. I give it a capsule here and there, maybe 2 or 3 a day, because it's a bigger dog. And the dog, you can tell it's out of its stress now, and it's more relaxed. It's not in sympathetic, it's more parasympathetic. And it's doing a lot better. I think after about 4 more days, it should be pretty good. But I think we should continue the microdeli for this dog. So I have those kinds of experiences with animals. They're so easy. People, easy too, if they listen and cut out their other vitamins and maybe up. I have people that really need to up their dosage. And, they just don't believe it. If they would just do it, it would work. At least try it. It's worth it. So that's my experience with what's happening with microdeli.
That's
Wow.
amazing. That's amazing.
So
Now we
Dr.
have dog,
Prasad,
cat, and horse. All 3 examples.
that's just outstanding. So Dr. Prasad, when you hear these examples, does this agree with your theory?
Yes, of course, yes, I do. But the kind of symptoms they describe, so advanced cases, whether you see the dog or cat or horse, and so quick results and so enormous benefit. I didn't expect it. That, tell you the truth, I knew, that it will have benefit, but this level of benefit so quickly.
It's just hard for all of us to wrap our mind around it, to be honest with you. So we have another current story that we want to share with you. Song has an animal story she wants to share. So please, Song, tell us about this.
Hi, Jonathan and Dr. Prasad. Thanks so much for having me on the call. A friend of mine she had a dog named Whiskey, and Whiskey was a golden retriever, and Whiskey was lethargic for a couple of days, and she took Whiskey to the vet. The vet said, "Oh man, this dog has liver cancer. You can expect the dog to live about 3 weeks." So she called me up and she was really upset. And I've known the dog for a long time, and I was pretty upset too. So I got my microdeli capsules and I went over there and gave her 3 boxes of those and told her give the dog 3 in the morning and 3 at night. Well, the dog, when I used to go over there, the dog would run up to me all happy and wanting to play Frisbee or whatever. And the dog just laid there. So I knew the dog was really not feeling good. So she started giving the dog the microdeli. The dog ate the microdeli. I went over 2 weeks later and the dog ran up to me, Frisbee in mouth, ready to play. And the dog lived for almost 7 months.
Wow.
After that, the dog was older anyway, but the dog lived 7 months, quality life, every single day. Yes, running, playing, and all of that. And then another friend of mine had a Dachshund, and the Dachshund dog, they're smaller, jumped off the couch after a toy or something, hurt his legs and his hips. They took the dog to the vet. The vet's like, I don't know. The dog might never get better. They started giving the dog the microdeli. Within about a week, the dog was running around. So it works for all of us. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you. No, I have another story.
Incredible. No, thank you, Song.
The difficult one. When I was at the University of Colorado there, then a very prominent lawyer, Shafroth. His name was Shafroth. And he had a pancreatic cancer. And doctor said that you have few months to go, nothing you can do. And so through a friend, one of his friends came to me whom I knew, and he said, Kedar, can you do something? Well, I said, well, by the time I had a sevak, but also I suggested some additional one, which we have in a micro daily EMF, additional nutrient and the doses. And he faithfully took it. And he survived more than 3 years and participated in his daughter's marriage in a big, huge places. And when he was about to die, he told his wife that ask my friend not to send any flower during memorial service, but the same money they should donate to Dr. Prasad laboratory.
Wow.
And that year, so then once I thought maybe we'll a few dollars, but then have several $1,000s. And so I started a Shafroth Foundation at the university on his name.
Yeah.
And his wife continued to support first day was like a 50 or 60,000 first year. But after that, she continued to serve in the neighborhood of a 10,000, sometimes 5,000, but minimum 5,000 every Christmas. She will send it to the Shafroth Foundation.
Wow, that's phenomenal.
So, quality of life for a long time he lived, participated, that's at the time when the doctor have said, you have only a few months and you live over 3 years, that's a lot of time. He was old anyway.
Absolutely.
Not anyway, but I'm old. But
yeah, well, we're going to keep you around for a while. We think you got a lot more miles left on you, Dr. Prasad.
I hope so.
We're not trying to hear that, but that's an amazing story right there. And I hope everyone is connecting the dots. And please, folks, remember, testimonials are anecdotal, purely anecdotal. What happens to one person may or may not happen to you. We strongly recommend that you seek the competent medical advice of professionals that you trust.
Exactly. Whenever issue of cancer comes, whenever issue of cancer comes, I always advise people, show it to your oncologist, do it, But for prevention purpose, that's a different issue that you can decide with your primary care doctor. But for oncology issue, you become a cancerous issue where there is a controversy, there is no human data. But a person like Shafroth or a person who have nothing else, doctor said, then you can try anything.
That's it. And that's what we put out there for folks is that just make a decision about what you would like to do with regard to your health and well-being.
Yeah.
This is information and educational purposes only. So
exactly.
Let's can we take a few questions, Dr. Prasad? Because I think there's a few folks just about to jump out of their skin. And
Jonathan's song was on there first, by the way.
I think Song wants to share her story there. So we got Song.
Sure.
With her testimonial there.
Okay.
We have winwith.net. I don't know what the name is, but go ahead. Your hand is up. And
hey, brother Jonathan, this is Van. Dr. Prasad knows me as the veteran fan. So
okay, all right, the veteran Vans. Go ahead.
So, hello, Dr. Prasad. Thank you so much again for giving us all this knowledge. My sibling, she has, because I view everyone on this planet as all my brothers and sisters. Just some are a little bit older, some are a little bit younger. But my sibling, she has 3 sons. 2 of them that walk on 2 legs and 1 that walks on 4 legs. So Snoopy is really kind of moving on in his age, but I believe that if we give him the micro daily, he will be able to be youthful again, strong. What about the probiotic? Do you think that dogs and cats can benefit from the probiotic, Dr. Prasad?
Yes, but I think probiotics, just like human, when the dog gets older, like human, the type of bacteria that we already have they become more for various reasons of aging, and they start producing a lot of pro-inflammatory cytokines, and that will hurt your tissue damage, and you have all kind of disease. And so I think if a person has any kind of a disease, or if he's growing older, even without disease, I will recommend probiotics.
Now, Dr. Prasad, we take as human beings one capsule. Do you think,
Yes,
two
one
capsules
capsule a day. One capsule a
Yeah.
dose is sufficient amount. That's perfect.
So maybe just sprinkle half of the capsule in two different foods throughout the day for the dog?
You can do at least one time. You can have one time, have later on, but you can do all in one time. That's good enough because they are very acid and heat resistant, so they will survive in your gut for a longer time. And so I think it will be okay to give them like that. One capsule, whole capsule, anytime you want to do when he's eating. You can, and it probably has no taste, so it won't change the taste of the food he's eating.
And it's very rare for us to get a chance to ask you directly, Dr. Prasad. What about the eye boost for dogs and cats?
Eye boost? Well, eye boost, again, dogs sometimes do get a eye problem, just like a human, And if your dog is getting older, then it will be a good idea to give a eye boost. Maybe if your dog is big, then maybe just have the dose of the adult. Eye boost.
And you taught me that the human body is made up of 28 parts of collagen. Can dogs and cats and animals also benefit from the collagen?
I think, if you're getting older, like I was mentioning, osteoarthritis, where they lose collagen and cartilage. And as you know, the collagen daily that we have can increase the level of both. And therefore, in human trial, this has been shown, they restore loss of cartilage. And of course, they also not only improves the collagen level, but also protect it from further damage from free radicals and inflammation.
Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad. So it seems like all of our Dr. Prasad choice products can benefit our four-legged family.
Yeah, I think so. I think this is because they go through the same process of disease like we do. So anything that will help us, I'm sure that it will help the animal as well.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. And since we have 120 of our brothers and sisters on here who probably love animals, we have a almost 50-year veterinarian here in Woodland Hills, California, Dr. Goldstein, who says that dogs and cats benefit most from eating raw animal organs. They do not do well with grains and vegetables. So we've been giving these animals the wrong thing for years. So we need to give them micro daily just to correct what we've done to them.
Right, exactly. Because without those kind of things, in a meat, you will have some vegetable, but other benefit of micronutrient you get from vegetables and fruits. And therefore, if they can't have it, then they will have a deficiency. And so micronutrient supplement would be good no matter what kind of food they eat.
Well, shukriya, Dr. Prasad. I don't want to take any more of your time. Can you tell me the name of your first company again? Sable? How do you spell that? Sable.
Sevak, S-E-V-A-K. Sevak.
Sevak.
S like Sam, E like Edward, V like Victor, A like Apple, K like Kite.
K like Kilo. Shukriya. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your questions there, Van. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Brother Jonathan, for hosting.
Absolutely, my pleasure. So, Dr. Prasad, you mentioned here on this slide, astaxanthin and lutein. Are those components that are in the eye boost?
Yeah, they are in the eye boost. Yeah, but in a what do you call in a research that we were doing on dog and cat, they used it as a like antioxidant because it has some antioxidant property. They did not go through looking into the eye or anything like that. They just think that those things are also antioxidant, and they just gave it to it without knowing, but that won't be a very good one. At least have some benefit, but it won't be like we have in eye boost.
Interesting. Very interesting. Well, thank you for sharing that. Let's take another question here. Dr. Court, Russ Court has a question. I can't pull him on the screen, but go ahead, Dr. Court. Oh, yeah, I can pull him on the screen now.
Oh, he's there.
Hang on just a second. Guys, come here. Yeah, hi, Dr. Prasad. Thank you so much for my call. Come here. This is Kaizen. And
Mhm.
Kaizen is actually the first EMF hypersensitivity service dog. And
Oh,
we trained him specifically to work with me in EMF. And you can see he's happy because he's been taking his
Very
microbiotic,
happy.
his micro daily and his probiotic. But in addition to that, and I just wanted to put this out there for people, it's really important that we also shut the router off at night for our pets. We don't think about that, but you know, these little guys, they're affected the same way we are. And as lead physician of Dr. EMF, it's really, really important that we give them an EMF or electromagnetic field free environment to sleep in, because that's when then they recover and they feel better too. So I just wanted to share that with you.
Thank you.
Thank you
That
for
is,
taking my call.
That is good
Good
to add into this discussion. That's wonderful. Thank you very much. We got one more here. Helen Hurt has a question or comment that she would like to
Sure.
give some attention to.
Yeah, really interesting. I actually live in New Zealand and I'm actually a bone therapist for animals.
Welcome. Nice to have you with us.
So it was really, really interesting. Are the products available in New Zealand? Because that is something I do run into issues.
This product, Micro Daily, she said she's wondering if it and when it's going to be available in New Zealand.
Well, Micro Daily is available now, but in what form?
In New Zealand. She's talking about, she's from New Zealand.
No, I don't get it.
No, she doesn't live here in the United States. She lives in New Zealand.
Oh, New Zealand. Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
Well,
they're Australia.
Place.
Down
That's
under.
a beautiful place. I don't know. You have to talk to David. I don't know how to send it. But it can be. I mean, there is some mechanism, some sample for few individuals, but to market it there, you have to have a government approval and all the long procedure. But for testing, I think, Jonathan, you can talk, because we send something to foreign country for human. And you are talking about for your pets, right?
Yeah, I've got a particular horse, actually. I was thinking one of my horses.
Yeah, horses, and he gave you heard the example of horse one lady was saying. And so it can be put on mostly not in normally we send in a human consumption in a bottle, but this can be sent because horse require higher doses in a package of 1,000 or 5,000 or something like that. You can explore this thing with our CEO, David Namalkajan.
We'll take care of her on that one.
You.
So, Helen, here's what you do. In the chat there, send your information to Son. And
I know Son, because her and I are in the same networking group.
Yeah, go ahead, send your information to her, and she will make the arrangements for you to get some of the product over there. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but her and I've already connected. We actually belong to the B&G together. So I've actually spoken to her. So I was surprised when I saw her. So
excellent. Yeah, well, in the chat,
reconnect with you, Son.
That's excellent. And listen, please come back and tell us, what the results are. We're really interested in knowing how it works out with you folks. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Hi. I hear a voice.
Okay. Hi. Yes, my name is Lynn Bowens, and I have a quick question, if that's okay. I'm an affiliate.
Okay.
Sure. Go ahead, Lynn.
Okay. Now, it's not about pets, but it is about the EMF. My husband made a box last night. He got a square, just a box, and he cut it, and he has a top to it, and he put aluminum foil all around it. And we put our phones in there because we don't like to cut the phone off, but we put it away from our bed, and he put it in the box with aluminum foil. Do you think that's a good idea? Because we set our alarm clocks, through the phone.
That's one way of doing it, and some people have done that. Try to create a little bit of a shield for the EMF, and wrapping it several times in aluminum foil could potentially do it.
It is for the dog. It is for dog or what?
He's just talking about for the family. For the sake of the family, they wrap it in aluminum foil to just cut down the EMF overnight. That's all.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, was that a good idea? Because, whether you have a dog or just like you said, family in general, just to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what form, because aluminum, I want to avoid anything for aluminum, because aluminum accumulation, if even you trace amount every day, if you are taking aluminum related things, that it could be not good idea. So, but they are putting the capsule, then this is okay. But if you are putting
she's talking about, Dr. Prasad, all she's talking about is wrapping up their cell phones, and their electronic devices. So to keep that away. So about 8 times is enough to shield it. So from damage. So you could try that, Lynn, okay?
I don't know. I can't answer that question, because first, you can only electrical field radiation, you can block it by this kind of stuff. But magnetic field or magnetic radiation, they will enter it. You cannot decrease it. That's one difference between, when you say electromagnetic radiation, it has both components.
Radiation.
Electrical component, you can stop it. Magnetic component, you cannot. So if something is very close to you, either you turn it off or you just absorb it and then,
take it out of the body with microdaily.
Microdaily, yeah.
EMF.
But it just, that is not a, some of the commercial product that they put on a cell phone is not good at all. FTC have examined those barriers, and actually, if you have blocked those things, then even for electrical things, it requires much more energy to get in your system so that you can talk. So they have to drive much higher energy power than if you don't have any protection. So it is better not to have any shielding protection that gives you a false protection. It is better to stay away or minimize the exposure. And of course, we take micro daily, but something like we cannot control it. But by aluminum fluoride, you can only protect against electrical power or electrical radiation that it generates, but not magnetic. So that's waste of.
Wow, thank you. I'm glad you mentioned that, Dr. Prasad, and thank you for raising the question, Lynn. Dr. Prasad, we have one more that was trying to get her question answered, and this will be the last one, folks. So, Vandrea.
Okay.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Hey, Jonathan.
Sure.
Hi.
Hi. My fur baby was just diagnosed with a heart murmur. She's 14. She's a Chihuahua Jack Russell mix, and she was a rescue. The vet is saying that she was most likely born with it, but she has fluid around the heart now, and it's causing her some discomfort in the form of coughing, but violent coughing. So they're telling me now that she needs to be on 3 medications for the rest of her life to control the fluid around her heart and some other symptoms that she was having. It's quite expensive, more expensive than the bundle. And she has to have to refill these medications every 30 days. So I guess my question is, along with the Vetmedin and the enalapril and the furosemide, would it still be safe to give her the microdaily EMF, and should I supplement that with the collagen and the probiotic?
Yeah, my answer would be yes, because it has no interaction with any kind of medication to human or dog takes it. And so I would suggest that you take it, and if you start feeling better, maybe your veterinarian will start reducing the dose of the other drugs that might have a long-term toxicity. So it is a good idea that you have started with a certain medication that your vet has recommended. But I think, like you said yourself, that by taking the micro daily EMF and probiotics, those 2 are must. But if there is some eye issue or dementia issue, then also take a brain boost as well as the eye boost.
There you go.
Collagen peptide is also very important if you have some diabetic related information, or many dog have diabetes just like human.
Okay,
So
and
I
should I go with the recommendation that you had on the screen?
Yes.
Because she's a smaller dog? Okay, so the same
Yes.
recommendation. Okay.
Yeah, smaller dog, yeah.
Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you for your question, Andre. I appreciate that. And you
was
can go back to the recording to review Dr. Prasad's recommendation, and that will take care of the vast majority. So, Dr. Prasad, thank you very much for your tremendous amount of insight that you provided to this discussion. I do want to ask you off the cuff. A lot of folks are concerned about RSV. Can we get together at some point within the next couple of weeks or so and do a discussion about how?
Yeah, because that is directly linked to immune system. Yeah, that will be worthwhile, just like COVID-19, but it has a different kind of mutated virus.
Are you available next Sunday, Dr. Prasad, to have this discussion?
Next Sunday, we are going to do something else, isn't it? Athlete?
No, that's a week later. Next Sunday, you are not on the calendar for anything.
Oh, okay, sure. Next Sunday, I will be.
So listen, folks, this is an official announcement then. I'm going to be interviewing Dr. Prasad next Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on RSV. So we're going to be discussing the role of micronutrients with RSV. Okay, so you can
because a lot of especially kids.
Oh, hospitals are overwhelmed right now, Dr. Prasad. Because of what's going on. So next Sunday, folks, make sure you invite everybody to the presentation again next Sunday for us. So this is the official end of this portion of our discussion. So if everybody wants to unmute and they want to thank Dr. Prasad for what he's done for us, you're welcome to do that now. For those who will be interested in a brief business meeting, you can stick around for a little bit right after our discussion. So thank you again.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad, Jonathan.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Thank you.
Amazing evening. Thank you, Dr. Prasad.
Excellent.
Good night.
Thank you, Dr. Prasad. Much appreciated. Thank you.
Awesome call. Thank you so much, Dr. Prasad. Thank you, Jonathan. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you,
Dr.
Jonathan,
Prasad.
as well.
Thank you,
Jonathan. Thank you for joining us.
Have a good evening, Jonathan.
Shalom and salamat and shukriya, Dr. Prasad.
Jeff and Helen, thank you.
Veterinarians that are brothers and sisters, brothers. Okay,
Man, this is going to open up a whole new avenue for us.